12 years, if you couldn't afford a 911, Porsche built you a $60K on-ramp. They just discontinued it. This one decision is quietly repricing every used 911, and not the way you'd think. The entry point just vanished, and the vacuum is pulling the floor out from under the cheapest 911s. Let me show you which rungs collapse and which ones hold. And there's one ghost rung in this ladder, the car that looks like the safe buy and quietly burns the most money. We'll get to it. Most people see a discontinued sports car. What they miss is a repriced market. They assume killing the cheap car means the expensive ones get cheaper. That isn't what happens when you remove the floor from a market. Porsche didn't just retire a model. They dismantled the feeder system that kept the bottom rung of the 911 market honest. For 12 years, the 718 was the on-ramp. Buyers started around $60,000, learned the brand, built equity, and moved to a 911 within 3 to 5 years. To be clear, a gas 718 is coming back, but it's 2 to 3 years out, and that gap is the whole story. Porsche didn't end the on-ramp. They pulled it up for 3 model years. Order books closed in September. Production ends in October, and the used market won't wait politely for the replacement. This is a structural shift, and those don't show up in the press release. They show up in auction comps 6 months later. By the time the average buyer reads the headline, the floor has already shifted. A 2-year vacuum is enough for a full depreciation cycle and enough for panic buyers to pay stupid money. That pressure is already pushing people into used 911s they don't understand, at prices they shouldn't pay. And that market is not a $175,000 average for base Carreras. Base 997, 991, and 992 cars cluster far more realistically in the $60,000 to $130,000 band. That's why this matters. Buyers who never considered a 911 are now bidding on cars they can't evaluate. That's the idiot tax, and it's already running. Start with the part buyers can see on screen right now. The used 911 listings getting crowded. 3 trims are absorbing displaced 718 demand first, and each one behaves differently. The 997.2 Carrera S is the true cheap 911 on-ramp. It has hydraulic steering, the smaller footprint, and the last mechanical feel before Porsche went fully digital. Base 997 prices rose 7.1% in 2025. The S rose 5%, and the GTS rose 18%. Those aren't depreciation numbers, they're appreciation numbers for a water-cooled 911. A clean 997.2 Carrera S manual with under 50,000 miles and full history is now a $45,000 to $55,000 car. And it won't stay there because supply is finite and collectors are already pulling the best manuals off the market. The leftovers will have stories. The early 991.1 base is the trap. Depreciation has moderated at around 7.8% for the 991.1 base, which looks stable next to the 991.2 base at roughly 10%. But that stability is a mirage if you're buying weak spec. A 3.4-liter PDK car in black over black looks cheap online and gets expensive on the lift. Weak spec 991.1 cars with no sport chrono, no PASM, and high miles are about to fill with entry buyers who don't know what they're missing. The 991.2T is the dark horse. It has the shorter gearing, thinner glass, and the mechanical limited slip the base Carrera deleted. Manual cars are thin on the ground. For the buyer who wanted a 718 because it was the honest driver's car, the 991.2T manual is now the last honest entry point. But don't go shopping yet, because one hidden spec detail can turn that hold into a trap, and dealers love leaving that part buried until you're already emotionally in. leave the 992 base and Carrera S out of this. The real action is in the $45,000 to $85,000 band. Now back up one rung, because these 911 moves don't start inside the 911 market. The 718 was a price anchor for the whole Porsche sports car pyramid. Two-door sports cars made up 26% of Porsche US sales in 2024, and the 718 was the lower half of that slice. It let buyers test the waters without committing six figures, and it absorbed depreciation, so the 911 didn't have to. The 981 was the last naturally aspirated flat six Cayman, and clean examples on Bring a Trailer and in CPO inventory firmed when rumor turned into closed order books. On the best 981 GTS cars, CPO asks have run roughly $15,000, or about 20 to 25% above comparable BAT level pricing. That's scarcity with a warranty attached. The 718 GTS 4.0 brought the flat six back, and that sweet spot is gone too, with order books closed in early September and production ending in October. The function is gone. Boxster started in 1996, and the mid-engine entry point dies in 2025. Now, the cheapest new sports car in the showroom is a six-figure 911. The pyramid has no base. When you remove the floor, the ceiling doesn't drop. The middle compresses, and the bottom rung gets crowded with buyers who were never supposed to be there. And Porsche knows exactly what that does. This wasn't just an EV timetable problem. It also shoves buyers toward higher margin metal. And that's a very different game once we get to the money. That's the setup. The pressure comes next. If you were priced into a 911 by the 718 dying, tell me below. Drop your config and I will tell you if it's the right car. And subscribe because the last domino is the one that moves the money. This is the mechanism that actually reprices the market. Buyers who were targeting a new 718 at $65,000 to $85,000 now face a dead end. So don't read this as three equal paths. It isn't. The market splits into three buckets, and one of them carries most of the weight. The smallest leak is defection. Call it roughly 15 to 20%. Corvette Z06, the tail end of the AMG GT R8 F-Type. Those buyers leave because they want a sports car, not a Porsche balance sheet, and Stuttgart no longer has a mid-engine gas car to sell them. The middle bucket is the Porsche loyal EV pivot, roughly 25 to 35%. They move into a Taycan or a Macan EV because they want to stay with the badge, the dealer, and the financing ecosystem. But that doesn't solve the product gap. The Macan EV is an SUV, and the Taycan is a fast sedan with a battery warranty countdown. Neither replaces what the 718 did. The largest bucket is the one that moves prices, roughly 50% or more, and it's the used 911 displacement wave. These buyers step one rung above the original budget and convince themselves the stretch is rational, because the new car alternative vanished. In the first quarter of 2026, Porsche 911 sales surged while the rest of the lineup stumbled. Global sales were down 15%, but the 911 was up. That's not coincidence. That's the feeder system backing up into its own source. Picture the buyer who saved for 3 years for a 718 GTS 4.0, watched the configurator for months, missed the order book by 6 months, and is now on Bring a Trailer at midnight, convincing himself that a 997.2 Carrera S at $70,000 is safer than a Cayman at $50,000. It isn't safer. It's just more expensive. These buyers can't spot a bore-scored 9A1 on a pre-purchase inspection, and they don't know that a 991.1 base without Sport Chrono is exactly the spec dealers love to dump on the uninformed. And while they're doing that, the fastest falling 718 asset in the whole lineup is already flashing a warning the 911 market hasn't fully priced in yet. We'll get to that in the idiot tax. That's why this isn't a simple product cancellation. It's displaced buyer pressure, and it lands directly on the used 911 market, which means it lands on the cars you already own or are about to overpay for. Now to the part that actually pays you. The biggest reveal in this market shift isn't which 911 to buy, it's which rung holds, which rung cracks, and which one turns into a dealer-funded trap. Start with the hold. Buy the 997.2 Carrera S with clean history, desirable spec, and a manual transmission. The analog floor is real. Supply is only getting tighter, and the market already treats the best cars like the last mechanical 911s instead of just old Carreras. That's why this rung holds. The second hold is the 991.2T manual. It isn't cheap enough to pull in every panic buyer, and it isn't common enough to get treated like generic inventory. Shorter gearing, thinner glass, the mechanical limited slip the base Carrera deleted, and a spec profile that actually lines up with what X718 buyers thought they wanted. That's why this rung holds too. Now, the collapse. Avoid the early 991.1 base with weak spec. That's the car that looks close enough to a modern 911, cheap enough to justify the stretch, and ordinary enough for dealers to load with margin. No sport chrono, no PASM, high miles, black over black, an asking price dressed up as scarcity. That's the rung that craters when too many entry buyers pile into the same mediocre car. There are three ways buyers will pay the idiot tax in this market, and this is where the money moves. First, panic buying a base 992 at model year 2026 inflated list prices. Dealers know the vacuum exists, and they know buyers who wanted a 718 are now walking into showrooms desperate to get in. $10,000 to $20,000 of ADM on day one on a car that normally depreciates 3 to 5% a year. That's idiot tax on day one. Second, overpaying for weak spec used 911s just to get in. A 991.1 base with no sport chrono, no PASM, in black over black because Porsche prices are going up. The dealer knows the buyer is scared. He knows the buyer just watched the 718 die and thinks every 911 is about to rocket in price. The market will sort those cars out, and the buyers who overpaid will be underwater before their first service. If the same buyer panic shops at Cayman instead, the CPO wrapper alone can add roughly $15,000. Same car, different invoice. Third, misreading the GT4 RS slide as a buy signal. The GT4 RS was supposed to be the Halo collectible that proved the 718 line ended on a high note. The data says the market disagreed. The clean verdict is a roughly 13.6% slide in a single year. That isn't a dip to buy, it's a speculator unwind. The real move is simpler. Buy the 997.2 Carrera S or the 991.2T manual while the displacement wave is still sorting itself out. Don't chase the GT4 RS slide. Don't panic into a weak spec 991.1 base. And don't pay ADM on a base 992 because you're afraid of missing out. There are two honest counter-arguments here, and both deserve a real answer. The first comes from the fact-checkers. Porsche says a gas successor is confirmed, and the vacuum is only 2 to 3 years. That's temporary. Here's why that math doesn't work. 2 to 3 years isn't temporary in car market time. That's enough for an entire depreciation cycle, long enough for buyers to change habits, and long enough for the used market to price in scarcity and never fully give it back. By the time a successor arrives, the 997.2 floor can reset higher. The 991.1 trap can close on buyers who stretched into weak spec, and the market can stop treating this as a pause and start treating it as a new normal. You don't wait out a structural shift from the sidelines. You either position yourself before the move, or you pay after it. The second counter-argument comes from the just drive it crowd. They say, who cares about value? Just buy what you love. That sounds clean until you put numbers on it. The idiot tax isn't about loving the wrong car. It's about paying $15,000 extra for a 991.1 base because you panicked when the 718 died. It's about convincing yourself that a weak spec is fine because at least you got in. That is not passion. That's a math error with leather seats. Enjoyment and basis protection aren't enemies. The 997.2 Carrera S delivers both. So this is the closing math. Porsche didn't erase the gas 718 forever. They removed it long enough to break the cheap path into the brand, and that missing rung now pushes buyers upward into cars with tighter supply, weaker specs, and less room for error. The 997.2 Carrera S holds because the market already respects what it is. The 991.2T manual holds because the buyers moving up from a 718 actually want that car once they understand the numbers. The weak spec 991.1 base gets torched because it looks like an affordable answer right when too many buyers need one. That's the whole game. This isn't about mourning a discontinued sports car. It's about seeing where the displaced money lands before the dealer does. Subscribe so the next video reaches you before the dealer does. The dealer already knows what you're about to learn. The only question is who gets there first. Watch this next. It's the other half of the decision you're about to make. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave, and this is Porsche Pulse.